dedication he has with his mom. So we're definitely so excited, for Okoye.
Yeah, Q is an amazing athlete. Everybody knows that knows Q, and we were very blessed to have him. One of the fastest kids I've ever coached. But even better, it helped our attendance on home games because he's a good-looking fellow. A lot of ladies showed up at the game, and so that was good for us for later on. But really proud of you, man. You said you're going to do it. If he wouldn't have got injured at the end of the season, I still think we'd still be playing, and we would have probably made it a little further because he was a blessing to just throw it to right now. And I've never seen someone take the curve and score touchdowns, man. It was a pleasure to have you, man. All right, Bob. All right, man.
Well, I don't even know what to say for real, but well, I just want to thank all y'all for accepting me into the family, and I want to thank my mama for doing it by herself for 17 years, you know. And I want to thank my boy Dean for being by my side since I was a sophomore, you know, looking out for me. And I want to thank Coach Garner too for getting me over here. And Coach Harris, you know you my man too. Appreciate you for everything you did for me. Coach Juan, you know I ain't gonna forget about you either. You my boy, and I appreciate everything you did for me. Coach Jay, where you at? Appreciate you, Coach. Coach, appreciate you too. And I want to thank my boy Josh for getting me over here. You feel me? But with that being said, for the next 2 years, I'll be taking my talents to Independence Community College.
If you put four, that's the
4 4 2 2.
that's when you were
What time? 6.
in 6:17 p.m. p.m. And I need a sign.
No.
Oh, thank you.
Oh man, what can I say about this next young fella? Oh man, I think all the coaches can attest. I'll start it off this way. I've been at West Charlotte for 8 years. Josh will definitely go down in my top three of one of the most unique individuals that I've ever taught or coached. Um, he's been a blessing to West Charlotte. Strong personality. So I'll go back to when I was a head coach. Um, Josh, pretty much the class of 2022 was very special to me because that's the class that came in with me my first full year as a head coach. We got a lot of press because the coaching staff we made a decision to start a true freshman. He told us he was ready. You know, our motto is, age ain't nothing but a number. If you can play, you can play. Um, we gave him the keys, and he pretty much took off and didn't look back. And he pretty much, as an individual, Josh pretty much gave me a buzz as one of the upcoming coaches in Charlotte. And a lot of that is because of him. We have a receiver at Kent State, Devontae Walker. Devontae raves about Josh to this day because quarterback receiver Josh pretty much helped put him on the map. But he's been a blessing. Definitely excited that I got to see him throughout the years. And, if you came to the games, this season was one for the books in terms of his performance. He had a game. Which game was it against? West Meck. Tied a record, 7 touchdowns. How many yards did he throw for? 330 something. Had an amazing game,
He wanted to keep going. We were kind of beating the brakes off him about it, and he was like, "Let me break the record." I was like, "It's getting a little ugly." Sorry. it was getting a little ugly, but yeah, I didn't want to look over at the principal, and he keeps looking at me like, y'all gonna score again? And but this guy, that's how competitive he is. No matter what he's playing, he's one of the most competitive individuals I've ever been around. I am going to toot my own horn on this. I am 1-0 versus him in basketball 1-on-1. Am I lying? No, but super proud of this. This is my QB1. I've coached two great leaders in my lifetime coaching football, and first one was my son, Brahim Murphy, and he took us to, great lengths of being a good football player. Josh, you're the second, man. Yeah, I'm very proud of you, man. I love you like a son, really do. All right, man. Proud of you. Oh, Queen City Player of the Year, by the way, too. Queen City Player of the Year.
Hey, they call me Coach West. I used to coach basketball, but I'm also one of the head behavior persons here at the school. So that's how he knows me. No, I'm just kidding. Like Coach Harris was saying, when Josh first came, he had the muscle on his shoulders, and the whole school took him in under our wing because we knew that a village raised, and we did that. I call a lot of them nephew, but this one definitely nephew. This one I got his back no matter what, and he knows it. Anytime he has any type of attitude, he sees me, he's like, all right, coach, and relax. Even this year, he made me be his babysitter. And I'm so proud of him because if y'all know from his 9th grade year to now, how he has matured as a man, he has gone from a boy to a man. And it's just amazing to see who he is right now. And to see what you're about to do, I can't wait because I got your back.
I just want to thank my mom, my dad, all the coaches who've been here since 9th grade. We know it's been a long ride. I done cussed a couple people out. I mean, we done had a couple situations.
But this is gonna be a Sunday guy. His focus. Being that his brother's out in the Midwest, he was like, "All right, coach, I got it." So we're so happy and excited for this young man. Oh, hold on. You go first.
What's up, bro? Good evening, everybody. My name is Jeff Caldwell. I'm a former head coach of a couple schools in Charlotte. I had an opportunity to know Kyrie for a while since he was in middle school at another school I was at, and I just happened to come over and help the school he was at. It was at a point where when God shows you things, you have to pay attention to what he's showing you, and when he shows you talent, then it is what it is. So he was in a situation that wasn't advantageous for him at the time, so he was able to do some personal things on his own as a young man, as far as his grades and decisions he had to make. And he was fortunate enough and blessed to be able to get put in another situation that and today we're looking at him now. He had a moment in time after a practice going to his truck, and I was leaving in my car, and I stopped the car right beside his truck, and he was really down, and he had been down for a while. And at that moment in time, the young man was contemplating not playing football again. He was contemplating his life at a young age of what he was going to do. And he was at a point where he was hurt, and he asked for help. So I called a friend of mine, and he knows some other people, and now he's in a better situation. And thanks to his parents, his mother, Coach Grinder, Coach Warren, the athletic director here, they've been blessed to have a young man, and he's been blessed to come here with them. So, like Coach said, he's a blessing. He's a different individual, and you can't really put it into words what God has blessed him with. So thank you very much for letting me speak, and I love this young man. He's a great young man. He's going to do great.
Yeah. So Kyrie, I coached his brother Malik, and Malik was one of the best players in the state at the time. And I hate calling his brother when I was talking to him over the summer when we were doing weightlifting. I was like, I hate to say it, man, but your brother's better than you. He didn't like hearing that. And but you really are, man. I call him the human seatbelt. He straps up everybody he plays, and he locks them down. But the one thing I can contest to, I want to toot your horn, Mom. You've done a phenomenal job. I've seen 2 kids you've raised, and they're 2 of the most polite young men I've ever met. They're very competitive, but they have great spirits about them. They're easy to talk to, and that just shows you the manners they learned at home. And that was a really good job. You are going to be a dude that we do see on Sundays, man. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. I'm proud of you. All right?
Well, they really done said everything for real, for real. But shoot, I really like to thank the coaches for all they, for everything they did for real, for all the ups and downs they gave me. I really like to thank Mom for helping me through. For helping me all the way. With all that being said, I like this. With all that being said, I like to commit to Hutchinson University.
They just won the national championship, right?
Yeah.
They just won the JUCO national championship. That's a big time school. That's good.
Come on, Lo. Big Lo.
Take your time, Miss Laura.
So our next young man, I kind of hit on this when we did Chance's signing day a couple months ago. You definitely know you have a special person when your daughter always talks about this person. So, oh man, listen. No. Let me finish. It's not like that. So, my daughter, she's 8 now. But when Angelo got to West Charlotte, we used to burn up the road going to college visits. And as coaches, we're busy a lot, so we're not home as much during the week. So the weekend, we would take them on visits, but that's the time my daughter got to spend time with me. But she looks at all the football players as her brothers. I'm not going to tell the story, but like the arguments they would get in the back of my truck, I would just look through the rearview mirror like, yo, this is really not happening. And I would always talk to my daughter. We spoke the other day, and I gave her a hypothetical question, and she was like, well, what about Chance? What about Elijah? What about Angelo? And I was like, well, they're getting ready to graduate, but I said, we'll still see them on Saturdays, and when they come home. Like those are the 4 that she always talks about at least once a week. Chance, Angelo, Elijah, and, everybody knows Walker. But, a lot of times, kids don't lie. When they gravitate towards someone, you definitely have to trust their instinct. And, you know, to see how he was with my daughter, you know, walking to colleges, him and Chance, when we went to Carolina. We were leaving. She was on the sidewalk. They made sure, without me saying anything, they made sure she was on the inside of the sidewalk just to make sure she was straight. And like anytime they were running around the field, they would leave a coach just to go watch her, as almost like they were her protectors. And, you know, as a father, that made my heart, you know, that just made my heart, you know, feel real good. So I told Angelo, he told me his goals. I said, we got to get there. But everybody also knows, if you see Angelo, Miss Lori is definitely going to be not too many steps behind. And, you know, definitely appreciate her as a mom. You know, I'll give one story, then I'll give it to Coach Griner and Coach Juan with this one. Angelo was loafing in practice one day. I'll never forget. She came. She was like, yo, the Angelo coming last? I said, yes, ma'am. She's like, oh, make him roll again. Angelo rolled 100, 200, 400 yards extra because he came in last in sprints. Mom went on FaceTime, sat on him, and started talking trash to her, whatever her community was, on Facebook Live about Angelo. And that was just one of them. Angelo, man, don't make me tell you mama. Or if he did something wrong, it was like, Angelo, bruh, like, I'm the one that got to talk to your mom. I'm not trying to get yelled at too. But so excited for this guy. You know, he's going far away. But his, you know, his ceiling is very high. Like all these guys going to these JUCOs, the things about JUCOs, guys, is you go, you get your GPA up, but the recruiting they're able to do, man, it's D1 up. It's really, most JUCO players don't go anything below D1 AA. So all these guys' futures are bright. We're definitely going to be seeing them play on Saturdays. I can't wait to, and I was talking to Coach Juan, we got to figure out some flights because 4 of our guys, they're going to be playing against each other on Saturdays. But Angelo has definitely been a joy to watch grow. And one more story. We came back from Carolina. We went out to eat. I don't know if any coach, know his mom can attest. This guy can eat. We went to a little restaurant. He picked his food. I said, you sure that's all you want? By the time I ordered mine, he was done with his, and he was looking at my plate saying, Coach, you going to finish that. But he's definitely been a joy, and we're definitely excited for him. You want to go, Coach, before Coach Brown? Okay.
So he's going to take your cornbread, I see. I got a nice little story, too. The first time I met Mom, and I went up to the car wash, and I was talking to him. I was letting her know that I was going to be the new head football coach, and I don't know how many times I got double charged going through the car wash, but I kept going to make sure that she understands she can trust me with this guy, and really proud of what he's done this year. This year, I just felt like it finally clicked for you. I think that you understood your work ethic needed to change, and it did. And his GPA shot up. Like he was getting 3.5s this past semester. He was doing a lot of great things, and if he does that, future's very bright for you going forward. I think I have to say something about one of his best friends, Anansi. Where are you at, Anansi? Anansi right there. I think they became a great friendship, and his work ethic is unbelievable, and I just think that's a great job that you've done as a friend to help him out see the way with time management and doing these other things. Like you said, it takes a village, and you're going to be doing some great things. You should always appreciate the people around you. Good job, man.
Oh, man. You want to say something?
On behalf of your siblings, we are so proud of you. You came a long way, and I know you're only going up from here. We love you so much.
Oh, man.
Oh, wait.
Dog, go, Jerry.
Okay, wait a minute. I wanted to say to Anansi, I appreciate you so much, young man. You have played such a huge role in this young man's life. You have no idea. Angelo went from, can I share your grades? He went from all D's and F's to all A's and B's because of the connection with you. I appreciate you.
First and foremost, I want to thank God for giving me the ability to play football. Couldn't have done it without him. I want to thank my parents and my family for always being there for me and pushing. I got you. I got you. For always being there for me. I want to thank the coaches for sticking with me, even though I put y'all through a hard time. I want to thank Anansi because you a good friend, bro. Like you a dog. But other than that, first and foremost, well no, last I meant, I would like to be taking my skills, my perfect looks, you know what I'm saying, to Highland University.
All right, before we bring up this last guy, we did have one more, Inde McDowell. Josh told me he wanted to go to the game tonight, so he wanted to miss his ceremony. But Inde is going to a prep school, Jara Prep. It's going to be real good for him. They're definitely expecting big things out of him there. So we want to congratulate Inde.
He's only about $130, but he plays like he's 190.
So got another one because he just hit me today. Sule, where are you? Sula, come on. Come on, Coach Jay, you can sit with him. So I'll say this about Sula. So everybody that's been kind of familiar with West Charlotte football, finding a kicker is not easy. He came last year to play. Can't remember what happened, so he didn't get a chance to play. But then he came this year, and just to see the power he had in his foot, pretty much his foot is going to take him as far as he wants to go. But he's definitely been a pleasure to have, to get to know, getting to know him and his brother. And definitely the future is definitely bright for this young man.
Yeah, it was a huge pleasure to get Sule. It's a great weapon. If you don't know, high school sports, if you're able to kick field goals, it's a huge advantage. Even better, extra points. Those things can help you win or lose games. And this guy was money all year long. He did some things that even the Huff, I think versus Huff, you kicked the field goal and he missed the field goal. And Huff's kicker is supposed to be like the #1 kid in the state, but this guy outdueled him in that game. You did some great things. I know that it's tough being a punter or a kicker because you only get yelled at, you feel like, but you do a good job, man. We didn't yell too much at you, I feel like, and you did a great job. Proud of you.
I want to start off by just thanking all the West Charlotte's coaching staff, and I want to start off by just thanking all the West Charlotte coaching staff for just supporting me and just accepting me as their kicker and everything. And I want to thank all the West Charlotte football boys, just being there with me and just supporting me in any kind of way I needed. And I also want to thank Josh because during the season I was like going through some stuff, struggling with anxiety and depression. And he was just there to help me out and everything. And I just want to thank God, just give me the ability to play football. I come from the Congo, and it's a long way home, So I just can't wait for him to see what plans he has for me in the future.
Definitely need all my footballs you sold, too.
And also, I'll be attending the next 4 years at John C. Smith.
All right, last but not least, come on, Mr. Elijah. Family, mom, grandma, coach. One of the coaches. She sit right there. Oh, get your chair, sir. So, like I said, kind of with Josh, he's one of the original guys that were here for 4 years. So, like I said, this class, 2022, is extremely special to me because, like I said, they came in my first year as head coach. I know that's how I got a chance to meet Coach Meekins. He was the coach at Ranson. He pretty much entrusted West Charlotte with a lot of his guys. He saw kind of what we were doing. Middle school coaches have a big influence in terms on the direction students go. And, you know, we were fortunate enough. He liked what he saw the previous year when I took over as the interim coach. And he blessed us with some of his guys. And it's definitely been amazing to have this one. I look at this one like a son. I think, you know, and Coach Griner can attest just with this process. The 2 years Coach Griner has known him, I think we were more stressed than he was in terms of the recruiting process. The recruiting process, you know, we tell kids and the families to embrace it, to have fun, but it's stressful. And, you know, Coach will probably piggyback on it. You know, he does everything right, never gets in trouble. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Just a real calm guy. If he was stressed about this process, you would have never known. But it was just one of those, coaches were coming. I was pushing them. You know, I take them to coach. Coach was pushing them. Then, you know, sometimes we didn't get the necessarily, I'm not going to say the response. They didn't give us the response when we wanted it at that time. But, you know, he's been a blessing to West Charlotte, to me. Like I said, it's just one of those, man, when my daughter talk about you all the time, I know you're a special person. And the way you've looked out for her the times we've gone on trips out to eat. She mentioned your name the other day because when I told her all y'all was graduating, she got sad. And I was like, no, you'll still see him. You know, he'll be up the road. But, you know, as your former coach in AD, I'm so proud of you. And, you know, this is family. Like, I told your mom when you graduate, she can't leave. Like, y'all are like family. And, you know, you're one of the pillars. Like you, Josh, y'all are one of the pillars that got West Charlotte going back in the right direction, because we were down for a minute, but, you know, your group that came in as freshmen is 2022. Y'all are the ones that kind of put this program on your back, and we've been able to take steps just because of you all's hard work. So I'm proud of you, and congratulations.
I'm gonna brag on this one right here. This is one of my favorite players. You know, no disrespect to the other guys that came up here, but I always brag. I tell them to their face. I was like, Elijah Simmons is our best player. He's our best player. I don't care what anybody else says. Unfortunately, sometimes when you're talking to the NC States of the world, you know, the big colleges that come in, they want a guy to be 6'4", 6'3", playing defensive line. He's probably 6'1". I was like, this 6'1" guy is better than any 6'5" guy you got. And I promise you, if he was 6'3", you wouldn't be getting him. I was trying to tell him he'd be going to Alabama. And one of the best football players I've ever seen play the game. And he did it from both sides of the ball, and he never complained. A lot of times when you're one of the elite D linemen, and he was second in the running for Defensive Player of the Year in the Queen City Conference. And that's a big thing. That's huge. You know, kudos to Coach Cam, our defensive coordinator. He put him in the right spot. We moved him around. And he even sacrificed himself. A lot of times he's more of a defensive end, very explosive individual. Well, they would run away from him. And Coach, you know, saw that. And he's like, you know, basically we had to put him at nose guard. And sometimes he's going to get double teamed and triple teamed. But even though he's doing that, it made the team better around him. And I just tell you what, man, Western Carolina is going to get a phenomenal football player. And I know that you're going to do great things there. Mom, you're not leaving us. You're a part of this family, like Coach said. I know where you live, and we'll make sure you're staying here, but very proud of you.
Nah, nah. It's kind of as simple as this. Elijah Simmons is Elijah Simmons is the best defensive lineman that I've ever seen play high school football, in my opinion. And I done been at a lot of different schools. I watched him. I remember a game. I remember a practice we were having. It was one of those long practices we was having, and it was going through the gauntlet. And I watched him. He was going up against Angelo. It was kind of funny. It was going against Angelo, and I watched him, and his hand movement, his usage in his hands and things. He's just really, I believe, the best defensive lineman that I've ever seen in high school football, and I've been coaching high school football for 7 years. He's the best defensive lineman I've ever seen. So Western Carolina is getting the best defensive lineman in the state of North Carolina, in my opinion.
How y'all doing? I get emotional, so I ain't gonna say nothing to make me emotional. I just got one thing to say. I was in the weight room when he was in ninth grade, and his mama come through the door, and I looked at her and I say, he gonna be the last one left out of the kids that's with him, and it was like 5 or 6 kids that came in with him. He the last one left, and I told her, I say, don't make no plans for was it Thanksgiving? Don't make no plans for Thanksgiving. She looking at me like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to Virginia. I said, okay. All right. We went to the playoffs that year. I said, they're moving them up. You ain't going to Virginia. She standing on the sideline cold. She was mad. She looked at me. I said, how that trip to Virginia doing? How you doing? So, but basically, Elijah, you something special. And like I said, man, your mama and your grandma, yeah, they done did a phenomenal job with you, man. And like I say to each and every one of y'all the roses that grew through the concrete.
Last story. Gotta say it. Just to show you how great Mama is in his eyes. And he, I'll never forget this. He was going to a trip. It might have been with you, Coach Juan. And I was trying to get him to go somewhere else. I was like, hey, let's go here. And he told me straight to my face. He says, Coach, I'm gonna do what my mom tells me to do. And that's a rare thing you see these days. You talking about respect for your mom? I mean, that meant a lot to me. I was like, I backed off. Normally I kind of like push it a little harder, but I was like, oh, okay, I'm done.
How's everybody doing? No, I don't need the mic. I can't hear with it anyway. Real short story about Tank. It started at church one day. Coach JoJo came to me. He said, Coach, how do you feel about helping me coach football? Youth football. I was fresh in Charlotte from Georgia, and football is my passion. So came out to help Coach JoJo, and I didn't know he was coaching a whole bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I wasn't used to that. But first day of practice, this became my new son. And it's big for me to hear all of the coaches say that he's the best at what he does. No disrespect, and big kudos to all the coaches that's been working with him. But when I got Tank, he was raw. When I met him, he was raw. I think I took off a whole summer from my business and my job, and Tank lived with me for about the whole summer. Tank only went home on the weekends. It has to be said, this was a blessing for me through Coach JoJo. And just to show you how the chain works, it went through Coach JoJo to me. I had an opportunity to meet Coach Mickens at Ransom through Tank. Tank recommended me for a job with Coach Mickens, which he came to North Met and kept his dream alive. So to hear all the coaches talk about and brag about how he's one of the best D linemen, and a lot of y'all didn't know he was a better O lineman. He was a better O lineman, wasn't he, Coach?
Yeah.
And to see my son Tank sitting here signing his letter, you know, that's all I ever look for from any kids that I'm a part of. So, Coach, I expect to thank you, Carl, for you guys.
I do want better. You're hired.
I'm looking for a job, Coach.
First off, you gotta say West Charlotte, not North Met. That's the rival, West Charlotte.
Where North Met come from?
You said North Met.
Oh, I'm sorry. West Charlotte, my apologies. My son goes to North Met. My apologies. My son goes to North Met. I apologize.
Now you got a job.
So, Coach, like I said, I expect to thank you, Carl, because I had him at 8 and 9 years old, and through Coach JoJo and myself, even Coach Mickens, we put that work in with him to help get him where he is, and I appreciate you guys for carrying him on through the process.
First off, I just want to thank God for giving me the ability to play football. I want to thank all my coaches, Coach Meekins. No, really, first off, I meant to say, I want to thank my mama. My mama and thank my grandma, Coach Meekins, Coach Juan, Coach Harris, Coach JoJo, everybody. Thank everybody, Coach Ant, everybody. And with that being said, I'll be, for the next 4 years, I'll be attending Western Carolina University.
Hey, and Miss Lori, if you could do me the honor of blessing these people, you and your daughter. Oh, you ain't? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hit the gritty, Mark. Hit the gritty. Mark, hit the gritty when you get up. Big gritty. Yeah, what's the gritty?
All right, as we kind of finish up, wanted to say this. So I know Angelo, Anansi, raise your hand. So I want to kind of shine light on Anansi. So Anansi, grades just came out. I didn't even look at his grades because I already knew he had straight A's. Anansi may be the valedictorian this year, possibly. You know, we're still working on, you know, football with him, but academically, Anansi has set himself up to pretty much go anywhere in the country. I used to brag about him with some of the other guys that had high GPAs. Coach Griner always said, Coach, nobody's going to make a higher GPA than him. So in talking to Anansi, I was like, man, when the last time you made a B? He was like, Coach, I don't know what a B is. And I literally went back and looked. I was like, he ain't lying. So definitely wanted to give a shout out to him. That's Anansi. Like, his GPA is through the roof. I know he's ranked top 5 in the class. I don't know which order, but he's definitely top 5. Too, then Coach Warren said something that I kind of slipped my mind. Tice, raise your hand. So Tice, we're working on him playing football, but we're trying to get Tice to kind of go baseball. Tice is very good in baseball. He'll be getting some offers in baseball. But with Tice, Josh, and Elijah, Coach Warren said it. I can't remember how many guys we had come in with that class, but those are the only 3 originals from that class that are still here. So I want to give applause to the definitely to the parents on that one. You know, we've lost some student athletes to different things, but those 3, along with their families, they've definitely stuck it through. Before we finish up, Coach Cam and Coach TJ, I want y'all to come up. So these are our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator. I want to give them time to kind of reflect and talk about these guys because they probably spent the most time with these guys during the season. You gotta talk today.
First off, man, congratulations to all y'all, man. I appreciate y'all allowing me to work with y'all. It was my first year being defensive coordinator. When he gave me the role, I was nervous because I understand it's a dangerous job. You know, these guys trusted me with their future. Every day they came in, they gave me 100% effort, and they gave me a great attitude, you know. They trusted me with the play calling, and they trusted me to lead them in the right direction. And I know, I tell these guys, man, I told them the future is bright for every last one of them just because of the things I've seen them do. It's rare to see, you know, a group of guys come together so fast, you know. It was literally a group of guys I seen that were together from when they were freshmen to guys who just came in the middle of the summer. And that's what was special to me because I seen them gel so fast, and I appreciate that. And I'm thankful for every last one of y'all, and y'all be very special to me because y'all were my first. So, thank you.
I'm gonna look this way. No, I ain't. Nah, this is a special group for me. Like, this is my first year coaching, period. And also being the offensive coordinator. So this is my first group. And they know I'm tough on them. Because if you look around, it's a lot of women in the room. And I kind of went through the same thing. Like, and I just kind of want to be that big brother, father figure towards all of them. It's taking Elijah home, going to get turkey legs every Thursday. And just getting into it with all these guys on the gridiron is just a special moment. And to see these guys, it just make me want to do better as a coach. So earlier today, I just kind of challenged myself to make sure every person who's deserving of going to the next level and playing, they get there. So I feel like sometimes I kind of failed them. But at the same time, they get the opportunity to play at the next level. And they make it out the dub, which nobody do. Not a lot of people do. I play here, so I know what it's like. So I love y'all with all my heart. Y'all continue to grind. Continue to do what y'all supposed to do. And go get it, bro. Love y'all.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about them real quick. I just want to brag on my two coordinators. People that really know me really well. I'm a very hands-on coach. I don't like giving out responsibilities. I kind of want to do it all myself. And I was blessed with Cam. He was with me at Harding, and he's come over here. He actually graduated from Harding, and to see his first game coordinated was versus his old team. And he wanted to beat the brakes off of them so bad. It was wonderful. And like you said, this TJ comes straight out of college. You know, he's ready to coach, first year coaching, and he got on the board with me this summer. And I was like, wow, this guy's very smart. And to give him the reins and what he's done and see him grow and see you grow, I mean, West Charlotte has a bright future. And it's got nothing to do with me. It's got to do with these two guys right here. They're phenomenal. And one positive thing, like you said, there's a lot of women in the room. The two good-looking fellas, you're not going to get mad at as much on Friday night. So I thought I made a pretty good decision.
So, and two, I think Josh may have left. I don't know. Josh's relationship with Coach TJ might be one of the funniest things. So Josh's family can attest. Josh has a strong backbone. He's stubborn. Josh is the type, if it's in his mind, he's gonna say it. And we were talking, you know, TJ, you know, Josh was having a moment where he didn't want to be bothered. And TJ said, "Don't worry about it, coach." Oh, he met the one, and you know, they would go at it. But like I said, you know, I kind of go back when coaches leave. So when I took the AD role, I kind of became the grandfather. So if the players had an issue or they wanted to complain about something, they came to my office. And like I said, they would go at it. You know, Coach TJ would go at it with Josh and Chance. It was just, I think they woke up every day saying, all right, it's your turn to get on Coach Grinder's nerves and the coaches. And those two together, I used to laugh because I was there. Now that I was the AD, I'm like the grandfather. I would stand beside Coach Dean. I would kind of watch them run. I'd be like, Dean, watch this, watch this. And they wouldn't let me down. Next thing I know, Coach Grinders turned red. Coach TJ done thrown his hat. Coach Cam done went somewhere else. And it was all because of Josh and Chance. And I was just in the end zone laughing. But behind closed doors, you know, one thing I appreciate about our guys at West Charlotte, especially this group, none of these boys gonna lie. Ain't no such thing as a lie bone in their body. They will tell it like it is, straight to your face. And even when they would come to my office frustrated, man, they never had anything ill to say about the coaches. And I knew we had a special group of coaches, you know, once the players said that.
Before we leave out here, Pastor, I want you to pray us out. And Miss Lori, can you and your daughter come and give us something for the players, please? Y'all clap them up.
They're not gonna come. Amazing grace shall always be my song of praise, for it was grace that brought my liberty. I'll never know just why he came to love me so. He looked beyond my faults and he saw my needs. Amazing grace shall always be my song of praise, for it was grace, oh, that brought my liberty. I'll never know just why my Jesus, he came to love me so. He looked beyond all of my faults, and he saw all of my needs.
And before we go into prayer, I just want to say one more thing. Me being an alumni too, I want to thank all of y'all, the parents, because y'all trusted all these guys at West Charlotte to take care of your kids. You didn't have to bring them here. As much as people talk bad about West Charlotte, you see that we're a family in unity. And we appreciate y'all. We want to thank all y'all parents for bringing them here.
Let everybody say amen. Amen again. Come on, let's everybody stand. We're about to get out of here, but it's all about the kids tonight. And we know they're young men, but as parents, we always call them kids. I had the opportunity just to serve, just to bring the food. That was our responsibility as a church. And I thank God for all the coaches for allowing us to do that. Coach Harris, Coach Griner, Coach Hall, and all of you all, thank you so much. And but we want to pray for these kids because we know that this is just the commencement. There's going to be a lot of stuff come after them when they step on that college campus. And so we're going to pray a covering over them as they go on every college campus and as they matriculate. So let us go before the Lord in prayer. Father, we are thankful that we have this privilege called prayer, that we can touch heaven right now and bring it down right here on earth. You said where 2 or 3 are gathered in your name, you will be in the midst. And so, Father, you said also that if one can put 1,000 to flight, and 2 10,000, we declare that we as a multitude can cover our children that are going off tonight. I pray that every one of them shall matriculate according to the plan of heaven. I declare that they all will have their own personal angels guarding over them, watching over them, making sure that they make the right decisions at every moment of the day. I declare that they shall do what they have set to do. They put it in ink where they were going and what they were going to do. So I pray that every parent's prayer, we join with their parents, we join with their family, and we say that they will go. They will prosper. They will succeed. They will go to the next level. We declare it is so. We declare the end from the beginning. They have already prospered, and we know it is so in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Amen.
All right, and so there ends the beginning for most of these young men. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have highlights of the senior season for each of the signees of the Pride of Charlotte, West Charlotte High School football. We'll be back right after this.
Left, got one receiver right with a running back right beside the quarterback. That's history in Huntersville. The snap, the spot, the kick is up, the kick is high. Put it on YouTube for the kids to learn from.
For a championship! A double play wins it for free. Turn it to the end zone. What a catch! Micaiah touchdown. Into the layup goes at the buzzer. Wins it. The championship.
All right, everybody. Good evening. My name is Jay Alverson, and this is the end of signing day right now, and I think I've got everybody in order. I may be a little bit out of order, but we've got highlight tapes from each of the signees here at West Charlotte High School tonight, the pride of the Queen City. We're going to start out with Q, one of the fastest young men in the state this year, and you'll see why on these highlights right here. And then I believe we move on to, I'm not sure, I don't want to lie to you. You'll see the names as they pop up. All right, with that, we will sign off for the evening. You have been watching the Pride of the Queen City, West Charlotte High School Lions Signing Day 2022. We hope that everyone enjoyed the broadcast, and we hope anybody that happens to be coming around next time will give us a holler. Check us out. See all the different things that we have available to you through 485 Sports. Please give us a follow or a subscribe. We would really appreciate that. And thank you so much. And you have been watching, again, the West Charlotte 2022 Football Signing Day on the NFHS Network, presented by 485 Sports. Good night, everybody.
Left, got one receiver right with a running back right beside the quarterback. That's history in Huntersville. The snap, the spot, the kick is up, the kick is high. Put it on YouTube for the kids to learn from.